How do? This is Shaun. It's going to be a rough ride, this, guys. It's not going to be rushed, and we're going to go at Shaun's pace. How you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad.
He's from Lancashire. Obviously, we're bridging that gap. No, seriously, I'm going to let Shaun tell you why he's here, and then he can start wherever he wants.
Brilliant. So
nice meeting you, mate.
Yeah, and you as well. I appreciate your time. So I'm coming on my 3rd year of doing an I.P.P sentence. Kind of weird word to look at, isn't it?
Just talk to me. You just feel comfy, mate.
So it's like my 3rd year of coming home from an I.P.P sentence. I got it for attempted murder, and I got a 10-year rec. So the story behind that, it wasn't necessarily I got the I.P.P for the offence, even though that was part of it.
Yeah.
The main reason I got the I.P.P was there was a safety issue to someone in the public, and I've done 3 prison sentences, and the first 2 previous to getting the I.P.P, and they were through going after one person, attempting to kidnap him, torture him, and I weren't going to stop.
To be fair, guys, on Shaun, you know, very young, this, weren't they, your first prison sentences? I can't get my head around it. Just go, mate. Just you do your thing.
No, it is. So it was about this one person, and I was never going to stop. Police knew it, probation knew it, everyone knew it, and I never hid the fact. So why were I going after this person, and why did my life change? So I was 12 years old, and I'm having a kickabout with my brother. There's a couple of others, and another lad came and joined in. Never met him before. So we started getting friendly. He was a little bit older than me. We just started becoming friends. After a few weeks, then he'd said, "Oh, come round to my house. You know, we can all chill in there. My dad's sound, and this is where we all go chill." He had older brothers, and he said that's where we all go. So I used to go around, and I'd smoke and drink.
Weed?
Not really. I tried my first joint then, but it wasn't a big thing for me because it used to make me sick. Yeah, cheers. It used to make me feel a bit sick. So, but it was the drinking and just that adult thing of feeling like an adult, that you're smoking and you're around these older boys. And so this one night I was supposed to meet him. Now at the bottom of my street there was a shop. So at the bottom of my street there was a road that went across. So really cut across our street. So I was supposed to meet him at the shop and then walk up a few doors up where he lived. So I'm at the shop, he hasn't turned up, I've waited 10-15 minutes, he's not. So I've gone to his house. So I've knocked on the door. His dad came to the door and I said, "Oh, is so-and-so here?" I'm going to call my friend's dad the knobhead.
Sweet,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just so I don't have his name.
No.
So the knobhead answered the door and I said, "Oh, is so?" I said, "Is he in?" No, he's out. I said, "Oh, I was supposed to meet him. Do you know when he's coming back?" "No, I have no idea." "Come in now, you know, you can come and wait." Done it so many times where there were loads of us in there. So at that age, you don't have suspicions and things, do you? You know, you're not corrupt. Your brain's not corrupted to danger and stuff. So I go in and I'm smoking fags, and he was giving me these little green bottles of lager. So I'd only had a couple, and then he's went and got another one, come back, and they were open, the cap are off. So I'm drinking it, and like I say, we're talking and all that. Then next thing I know, I'm coming to. Like, I open my eyes, and it's like, the effect is when you've been knocked out. I don't know if you've ever been knocked out playing rugby, or you come to and it's like fuzziness and your brain feels like, it's weird. It's a weird feeling. And I'm looking around the room and I thought, I'm in a bed. So I moved the covers and I had no clothes on from like waist down. And I felt I was in some pain, you know. So I knew something had happened. But again, I wasn't at that age where I knew about sex, so I didn't know anything about that sort of thing. I was just a young lad who loved playing football. So I got dressed, I snuck halfway down the stairs. Now as you come down the stairs, you come into the living room. So I've come halfway down, I've looked and he's not there, so I don't know if he was in the bathroom or he was in the kitchen. He wasn't in the living room, so I flew out the house. And I just went and sat down on a wall.
Were you unsteady?
Fucking unsteady. I can't explain the feeling. It's a weird feeling. It was like it's like I'd smoked loads of weed and like I wasn't myself and I had this pain and I'm trying to make sense of what's happened. And I went home and I didn't say anything, and after a few weeks, couple of months, my behaviour started getting noticed where I was brought up with my dad and my brother, and there was fear of my dad. You know, if I got detention, I were in trouble. He was strict. You know, we had to make sure the dishes were washed before he come home, before we went out and played. Because he were at work when we come home. He didn't come home till about 7. So we'd have to make sure the house, we'd done our chores. It was a strict house. Very, very loving. Very loving. In certain ways. Of like, we got whatever we wanted.
He cared about you.
Yeah, but it didn't show me that sort of other kind of love, that, you know, that softy like hug. Or I was the oldest, so for me it was like, stop crying, I'll give you something to cry for. Do you know what I mean? Men don't pull your socks up. My brother was different, you know. My brother was like the little softy, and he got that sort of. But I was a laid back lad. I didn't misbehave in school. I wasn't cheeky. I wasn't disrespectful. But all that started to change where I became angry, disrespectful at home and at school. And then I attacked someone in school. It was a bully, and I'd just lost my temper. And I'd been getting bullied for a few months. I was small, I was chubby. Difference is now I'm tall and chubby, but I was short, you know. I was a little plump one. And I had all this anger, confusion, guilt. What did I do wrong? Why did he do that? Does that mean that I like boys? I was just coming to turn 13 when this happened. I met him when I was at 12, and then just before 13 that happened.
Did you speak to anyone or?
Right, so no, so I had all this, and I'd battered this bully, and I had this rage come out, and from that day I realised I wasn't going to get bullied. I had this rage, you know, and I got sent home, and I had to tell my dad because he was fuming at my behaviour and what's going on. And so, without going into too much after that, because when I did this before, it upset a few people. Family of criminals, apart from my dad. He was like the black sheep. I got taken, in fact I'll just go into it. I got taken to my nan's, said what had happened, and she rung a couple of my uncles. They come down, Rose sat in the living room. I had to tell my story, I had to tell them what happened. I got sent out the room. To me it felt like hours, an hour, it felt like a long time. It must have been minutes. Come back into the living room, so I went back in and basically she said, we don't go to the police. We never go to the police. We deal with it our way. And she'd always told me and my cousins, if somebody kicks you, and she said this after, but she used to say, if someone kicks you, the fucking lot of you limp. You know, so in other words, when you all grow up, you look after each other. So it's going to be dealt with. You'll never see this person again. We don't speak of it again.
And how old are you now? 13?
I was 13, so you never speak. So I had all this shit inside me, and I was never going to see this person again. But I was just a different person then. I was interested in school. I just violence whenever I could. I was smoking weed. And then I got addicted to painkillers. I was 15, I'd hurt my back. I got given a couple of cocodamol. And I realised, fucking hell, the pain's gone. But the feeling, because every day was this, could have been sunny. But in my head, it was fucking cloudy. It was dark. I fucking didn't like life. But these painkillers made me feel different. So I started taking more and more and more. And within 6 to 9 months, I was going through 100 every 4 days. Of these 30 over 500 cocodamol, which are the strongest.
500s?
They were the 30,
how many?
They're the 30s over the 500, the strongest. And every 4 days, I was going and buying a box of 100.
Fucking hell, I've had them for my back, mate. 2 of them. Yeah. 2 hours later, you're a space cadet.
Yeah, I was 15 years old. But by this time at 15, I was big. You know, I was big for my age. But I was hammering them because I was still in back pain. I still wanted to play football. And the feeling it just gave me in my head, it reduced the violence a bit, the anger, because it clouded, just like put something around me, a comfort. And when I drunk them and I'd watch them dissolve, 10 at a time, I'd watch them dissolve, and just this feeling I'd have in my stomach of, can't wait, and just tasting them, felt like, and it's weird, and people might laugh, but I was 15, and I've got all these emotions in my head, this guilt, confused, am I straight, am I gay, what did I do? I isolated myself from people. My dad and brother would go away like weekends and school holidays. My brother used to race motocross bikes. So he was in a motocross group called Phoenix 580. He had a big motorhome, and that's what they did. And I'd stay at home. And weekends, I wouldn't go out. School holidays, I wouldn't go out. I fucking did not like to be around people. So I left school. I'm addicted to these painkillers. I left school, started working at my dad's place. He was a transport manager on the forklifts. And I ended up quitting that. It just weren't for me.
How did you function? I've taken them tablets. I am a space cadet. I take them for maybe a day or 2 days a year when my back's bad.
Right. Well, like any drug, Sam, the feeling that you forgive me at first when I used to take 2, 3, 4, eventually you're getting used to that. To the point where when I was taking 10 a time, when I woke up in the morning, I had the same withdrawal symptoms, although I didn't know what they were then. I felt like I had the fucking flu. I had like the bumpy skin, I felt cold, my nose. Now I know it. It's opiate, innit?
Because you go to the toilet, they bung you up.
No, fucking hell, did it? Heck, no, it did bung me up. What I'd have to do is I'd wake up, after like 5, 6 days at a time, I'd wake up, whereas I was used to taking them straight away, 7 o'clock. Every morning I was up 7 o'clock drinking more. If I was going to work earlier than that, I'd take them. What I'd have to do is get up, wait 3 hours until I really started feeling the withdrawals, and I could go to the loo then. You know, it was hard, but it just... So I leave school, I'm addicted to these, and I start working at my dad's place. I leave there, I go to another place, knocking on fucking doors, trying to sell windows. And then I started doing security work, and I loved it. During the week I'd be in different places, so Calderstone's mental hospital.
Oh yeah.
On the gate there, searching and checking cars, then doing patrols, and then weekends I'd do clubs, nightclubs, and it was great because I could, as soon as I'd see someone fighting, or as soon as I had that, I'd justify, right now I can go, I'd see knobhead, and it'd be knobhead's face. So everywhere they'd fucking get it. So this particular night, I get ready for work, shower, get my uniform on. I go down to the shop, and it was a Friday night, so I was going to do overtime at Calderstone's. So it's a different uniform to your doors. So I go down, I come out of the shop, and I bump into someone. And I say, oh, have you seen so-and-so? Now, I'd lent this lad, he'd come out with young offenders, and I'd give him something like 80 quid. The shop had a flat above that was empty, so I said to Taz, who owned the shop, can you stay here for 3 or 4 days? I'll give you some money. Said to the lad, right, when you get on your feet, you pay me back. And I hadn't seen him for months. So I said, oh, have you seen so-and-so? It was just a passing, like. And he went, yeah, he's living at Knobheads. And my fucking world collapsed. That's when my world went tits up. Because this person, I was never going to see him again, Sam. I was never going to see him. He'd been dealt with. In my head, I thought he'd disappeared. And everything I'd been told.
Did you pull him out your head?
No, he was in there every fucking day. He was there. This is my family saying, you'll never see him again. He was in there every single day. I wouldn't sleep because I'd dream about it.
Was he close where you lived?
No, because this is the... when I found out?
No, where you
when it happened?
Was Knobhead. Was it like miles away? Was it...
When was this? At the time that he did to me?
Yeah,
or when I found out later?
Both.
So, yeah, bottom of my street, turn left, he lived a couple of doors up from the shop.
So
to the bottom of my street.
Seeing him living...
Yeah, I wouldn't go out. I wouldn't go out. And I was just... It was my fault. What did I do? Why did I, you know, what did I do to make him do all this? And... So when this lad had said, oh, he's living at Knobheads, it was like, not only have I had all this going on in my head, I've been fucking betrayed. These people who were supposed to protect me.
What did you think they'd done, Shaun?
I don't know. I never even questioned it. I just thought they'd made him go away. Didn't know how, didn't know what. So there were no like thinking he'd been, I just didn't know. I thought he'd gone. And it, like I say, when I was told we never speak about this, we never speak about it. You know, my dad's that person that once something's finished, you don't show emotion. So doing this video last time on another channel, it's, you know, it's ruined a few relationships because some people don't like knowing that how they made me feel, or you know. So anyway, everything, it just like my stomach dropped to the point where I really needed to go to the loo. The fear was like, it wasn't anger, it was fear. It was weird. And I walked home, I went in the fridge, got a can out, I opened the can, downed the can, and I thought, right, if these fuckers didn't do what they said they were going to do, I'm fucking 18 now. I'm 18, I'm 6'2", I'm 16 stone, I'm going to torture him. I'm going to torture him. So, got a kitchen knife, jumped in the car, straight to his house, booted the front door open, run in, and as I run in like your boot the front door is a vestibule door, I open that. And for people who, other parts of the country that don't know, vestibule is when you open doors like a little space, and you open another door to the living room and you put all your shoes and stuff. So I opened that door, and his 3 sons, he had 4 sons, but 3 of them are sat there now. My mate wasn't there, so the other 3 were the older than me. So when one jumped up, I just laid into him. One of them run out the front door, another one run up the stairs. So now I've got the knife sticking out my hand, and I'm just giving it to him.
You alright, mate?
Yeah, I'm just thinking here. I'm just like...
Take a minute, mate.
Yeah, I've got the second one fucked up with the first one.
It don't matter.
I've got... So
Shaun.
So this is the second... Yeah, because it's all like... So I go to the house. I go in. I fight with one of his sons, and I'm trying to drag the dad out the house. And as I'm trying to drag him out, obviously one of the other sons is gone. It had fucked up. There were people on the street, it fucked up, so I jumped in the car and I drove off. Got arrested the next day. I got charged, attempted kidnap, aggravated burglary because I'd gone in, booted the front door through. So they charged me with Agberg. Even both, like, that Agberg was like, nothing was taken. So they did that. There were weapons to put as much as they could onto me. I went to court, never been in trouble. Never spoke to a policeman, you know, I'd never, and I got 2 year 8 month for my first one. So that was in young offenders then, in Lancaster Farms.
Is that where you were?
Yeah, my first one, and I was, you know, I'd never been in trouble. Although I was involved in stuff, like selling weed, and you know, I was involved in little things, friends that were doing whatever they were doing, but I'd never been in trouble. So I was shitting myself. So I'll go in reception, you get your strip search, go through it. It was just all the days for me. As I'm walking to the induction wing, someone shouts out the window, "All right, Shaun," and he shouts my surname, and I was like, "Nice one, this is one of my pals from outside." So then that just takes that fear down a bit.
Explain that to people, because that is the thing about jail, innit?
Yeah.
Once you know someone.
Oh, it's like, and I watched this with that last one you did with Lee. Was it Lee?
Yeah.
About that fear factor, and I laughed because it was right, and it was like, as soon as he shouted my name, I was like, familiarity, someone I know. I'm not on my own now. You're still nervous, but that fear goes. You know, it replaces with other, like, anxiety and nerves.
Can I ask you, Shaun, the strip search part of it?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I was fucking shit, and I'm thinking, this is another man. I've just attacked someone who raped me, to be blunt, and now I've got this big, burly. I'm 18, even though I was a big lad, I was still a young lad in my head. You know, I was still immature, and I've got this big, burly bloke. You know, he was like you, but he was massive. He was a lot bigger, or he seemed that way because of all this fear I had. And I had to take everything off. You know, you got to.
Did they like treat you respectfully, sort of?
No, it was blunt. Like, I realised after what it was. Once I'd gone round the system and gone on another sentence, they see people, like prison officers see people coming in and out, in and out. So there's this assumption that this person's done this before.
There you go. That is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's not. It don't. For
You
me,
can't
you don't know how many times you see
Yeah.
someone come in and out. It's sometimes worse when you know him.
Yeah.
The lads.
So it's like a cattle thing. It's not about how you're feeling. Bit different now, where you speak to a nurse and how you're feeling. Have you got any thoughts of suicidal, self-harm? But then, it was 2003. It was sign this, stand there, take a picture, fingerprint this. That's your number. These are the rules. That's your PIN number. Strip search. You're like, there's no thought of.
It's just a whirlwind, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing is that, you know, when I went to Strangeways, reception staff, some of them have been in reception 15 years.
Yeah.
So, like you say, just a name and
They're
number.
doing a new job. Do you know, that emotion side of that person, not there, is it? It's,
no.
Let's go. They're doing the job. Need to get you through. They've got other things going on. There's time scales. There's procedures. Let's go. Strip search. That was like, I was shaking. I was shaking. So, but me, I had a tracky top on, I think, or a jacket. I had something on, so I took that off, give it, searched it all. T-shirt off, took my T-shirt, give it him. Lift your arms up, turn. So I turn. But while he's rubbing the T-shirt down, I booted my trainers off, pants straight off, and he's like, whoa, 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 stop. Because I was that frightened, and that thing where I was rushing. You know, I wanted to get it done. So I had to explain. So you're like, right, stop, slow down. You know, put that on. So these did a bit, but no one says, like, you go in and you see a nurse. They ask loads of questions, but one of the questions they don't ask is, how are you feeling? Have you been to jail before, or do you know what to expect? You should have someone sat in reception, another con, that sits with you for 10 minutes, relaxes you.
Do you think you need that before you strip searched?
Yeah, yeah. Or a con to say, right, this is what's going to happen. You're going to give your name. You're going to, because when you know what's going to happen, you process it. Then right, that's out the way. That's it. There's no more bad things now, or there's no more uncomfortable things to go through. But when you flip that, is it supposed to be frightening? Yeah. The whole point is to make you think, I'm not fucking coming back here again.
Yeah, but that's gone after a few days, isn't it?
Yeah, after a few days it went pretty much that night.
Hours.
So as soon as they come in, luckily I was on the wing 5-10 minutes, they opened the door for association. People come out, everyone's looking at you, but straight away my pal come over, then I seen someone else, he come over, and before I knew it there was like 5 of us.
Were you biggest on wing?
For my age, yeah, I was one of the... So the next morning they opened the door, and it was weird. So they opened the door, gym induction, doing my gym induction. The 3rd day, so I'd come in, I don't know what they say, it was a Monday, about 7 or a bit earlier, association, so that's a full day's gone anyway, so I only have a couple of hours out. The next day doing my gym induction. The day after I'm in the gym and I'm on the running machine, there was a lad from Blackburn, I know his name, and his name's the same as a pop star who's dead. So I don't know if people can work that out. You know, a bit of a dancer he was. So we're running, and I'm being from Accrington, he's from Blackburn, and he's giving me shit about Accrington and you wacky boys of this. And other people are listening to this, and I ignore it. Get off the treadmill and I walk away. Go do something else. While we're eating dinner, and they'd done it just to play with me. You know, they were my pals, but they were just testing me, I think. And it was a day where the dinner was cracking. They had these like rolls and it was melted cheese, and it was the good day. Had these nice milkshakes that you never really got. And I'd never been jailed, so I'm like, to me it was like, oh, this is what you must always get. So while we're eating dinner, round Lancaster Farms, you sit around the wing, the tables. Yeah. So I'm sat at the start of the line, right round, and the lad who'd been, you know, having a laugh with me, but who I thought were taking piss, were right across at the other end. So I was talking, one of my pals said, and it was Steve, and he said, you know, he's tried mugging you off, don't you? And I went, what do you mean? Well, in the gym, and, you know, he's trying to test you, and if other people think that they can take, if people see him taking the piss, and he's not one of the stronger lads, other people that are going to try to do it and what have you, you need to deal with it. But they were just messing with me. But me, I'm thinking, really? So off my chair, belt across the wing as fast as I can, because officers notice when someone's moving at pace. Hang on a minute, why is he walking over there fast? You're all sat eating dinner, you're not supposed to be going, you weren't allowed to go between people's tables. So I run across, as soon as he like looked up, a bit shitty, but as soon as he looked up, I just punched him, he stood up, and we're fighting. And I had him against the door and I was just hitting him. And then when I looked down, I thought, shit, I'm hovering. My feet were off the ground. I thought, oh, and then I got spun round, slammed on the floor, got wrapped up, never had it done, it was painful. They stood me up and they had my arms out and they're walking me down the wing and they're like, where's your cell? And I went, right where I was fighting. So they turned me around, they marched me back, so everything goes quiet. Everyone's looking at you. The next day I go for my nicking, explain to the governor what happened. I said, I've just come in, I thought someone was trying to intimidate me, bully me, and never being in jail, I thought other people would bully me. I didn't say like what people had said to me. Yeah. I just thought, I said, I've never been in, I don't want people to think I'm soft and weak. So he's like, right, I'll give you a suspended on this. And he just said...
He'll give you a squeeze then?
Yeah, he said, I don't want to see you again. I do not want to see you. Next time, you're going to get it. You'll get slammed. No worries, cheers, Gov. So I go back to the wing. They said, pack your kit, you're moving. So obviously I'm on the induction wing, so they said, right, you're moving. Obviously, because I've just had a fight, I'm the one off. So I got put onto the wing next door, C2. And I'm taking my stuff out the bag, my door opens, and it's one of the officers who'd slammed me. And he was an ex-rugby player. And he said, "Do you want a job?" I said, "Yeah, please." I said, "Yes, sir." And he went, "Don't fucking sir me." He said, "Governor or boss?" And I said, "No worries." So I said, "Yeah, boss, please." So he said, "Right, move your stuff, you're going in a cleaner's cell." And I was like, whoa. So I got put straight on surgery because...
So how long's that week in?
No, that was the 4th day in.
Yeah, I'd have had it on surgery. Big lad.
Yeah, so it was... I went in the Monday night, Tuesday gym induction, Wednesday had the fight, Thursday had my nicking, come back to the wing, got a job. And I loved it. I loved it because it was like gladiator school. You know, I found somewhere I can take my anger out, and I felt quite at ease very, very quick. So when I say love it, I mean it was a school.
See, yeah, what you've just said.
People might think love it, but it's not what I mean as in love it.
No, but you know, as people think, people will be thinking it's soft. It's not soft. You know, you're going to do that with young offenders. However, the fact is that you're not a week in and you're feeling comfortable.
Yeah. So anyway, I do my sentence. I get moved then to an open jail at Cat D. Complete that. 2 weeks before I got out, a probation officer from outside come and see me. And I said, right, this is what's going to happen. You're going to move him out. You've never come and seen me. You've never spoke to me. I don't know you from Adam. 2 weeks before I get out, you come and see me. I'm your probation officer. You haven't got a clue about me. You need to move him out of the town, or you need to put restrictions in place to try to prevent me from getting into the town.
Is that what you told him?
Yeah, I said, because I'm going after him. And I was blatant, and it's not trying to brag, I'm not trying to blow smoke up my arse, I'm being real. And I want to show people how fucked the system was, and how me and thousands of others get let down. So he turned around and his exact words were, "I can't do nothing until you do something."
Come on.
I swear. And I went, "Really?" And he went, "Yeah." I said, "Not a problem, see you later." Walked out. Got released. The first week I was out, I tracked him.
Didn't you have any license conditions?
Yeah, of course I did, but I didn't go to an appointment. Because he said that, I thought, right,
fuck you.
Yeah, because I weren't going to stay out, I weren't going to abide by no law. I was going back to jail because I was going to torture this guy and I was going to murder him. And again, it's not to blow smoke. I've got everything that people need to see. The guy raped me when I was 12. I'm a grown man. Jail doesn't work. And I noticed that on my first sentence. People are protected, and jail, you don't get to them. And secondly, I had no faith in family. I had no faith in the police. He's going to get my punishment, you know. And I wanted, because I know on the first sentence people saying, "Why did you wear a balaclava? Why the fuck?" Oh, I want him to see my face, and I want to see that fear that he's put in me. Because even till today, I'm frightened of the guy, and he's dead. I'm frightened of him. So the first week I track him, find out where he lives. The second week I stake his house then. So I sit in a car.
Are you doing it on your own?
Yeah. I've never done anything with other people. However, the night I went to do it, somebody came with me, and it was another family member on the opposite side. So not on my dad's side, on my mum's side. And we were talking, I was going to do it that night. And so it happened, he lived at the top of the same street. And he said, "I'm coming with you." I said, no, I'm going tonight. I'm going to wait outside his house. I don't know what day of the week it was, but I knew the same time every week it came out. So I don't know what it was he did, but I knew. And I watched him. So we went. Oh no, so I went. So he came with me. We sat in the car. He come out the house, and the person who was with me said, "I'm not doing this," jumped out and run off. Fucking left me. So I jumped out the car, and again 2 of his sons come out, so I thought, fucking hell, it's now or never. So I didn't jump out the car, started the car, drove down, blocked his car, jumped out, run round, grabbed him, and while I had hold of him, I had the knife, and I'm saying to his son, you need to fuck off. I'm going to stick it right into his neck now. So they like backed off, but then one of the other sons had come round the car and I'd not clocked it. So he hit me, so I let go of him and I'm fighting with one of the sons. So by this time, the dad's run off. These get off. Two of them run in the house, the other one run away, was fighting. So I jump back in the car, drive off. And then get caught the next day. So I had to do 12 months of my licence straight, then start 3 year, 10 month.
Same offence, was it?
Yeah,
Kidnap and
yeah,
weapons
attempted
and...
kidnap, weapons. They put a blackmail charge on it as well. Like, even the judge was saying, "Who the fuck's it? How was this blackmail?" To the prosecution, they're like, "Well, he had the knife to his neck, and he's saying to the others, if you don't do this, this is going to happen."
Come on.
Yeah, I've got the charge sheets. It's like, it's mental. It's mental, and it's stuck. So he gave me 3 year, 10 months, but the judge turned and said, so while I'm on remand, the police came and said me, you got a legal visit. So I thought it was a solicitor, so I go to visits, and it's to CID. So they said, we need to speak to you about Mr. Knobhead. I've got nothing to say to you. We know why you're going after him, but people won't speak, so we can't do anything. So I've got nothing to say to you. But come on, we know what's going on, you know what's going on, you're ruining your life, you're going after him. Let us do it the right way. I said, the right way? What? You charge him, you send him to jail, he gets put on a VP wing? Come on. No.
How did they deal with it?
They were right.
Were they good?
Yeah, they were sound, and like, yeah, we get that, we understand that. Maybe it's the right way for you. Maybe it's the way people expect it, but we have to go by the law. And the law is, we charge people properly and we send them to prison. But it doesn't matter, his family know what he is. So it doesn't matter, he's going to go to jail, have it cushy, come out and still have his family around him. What's he going to lose? He doesn't work. What's he going to lose? I want to end his life. And they were like, fair enough. So we walk out. So the judge says to me, I know what's going on, but you won't speak. You won't tell anyone what's going on. Tell us what's going on and we can resolve it, because otherwise you're going to come in front of us again. Next time it's going to be to the point where you never get let out. So he gives me my sentence and says, while you're on your sentence, I hope you get help, all the spiel. And he was quite alright, but he said, if you come in front of me again, you'll be getting double figures. Doesn't matter what it is, I will be giving you double figures, because you've never been in trouble, and then the 2 times you get in trouble, it's severe.
Did you ever consider, you know, sort of taking them up on their offer?
Nope.
Not at all?
Nope.
Not the judge?
Nope. Never even
entered me. How old
me.
are you then when they're telling you that?
So I was 18 on my first one, so I did that. 20, maybe 21.
You're quite determined.
Oh yeah, yeah. If he was still alive now, I'd still go after him.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he die while you were in jail?
Yeah, yeah. The fucker escaped me. And everyone knows this, so it's not detrimental. Everyone knows what happened. Maybe the way my life is now, I'd probably look at it different.
Were the other victims that you know of?
Yeah.
Have you ever met any? Or
yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, there was a lad who, a well-known family, criminal family, and I got jumped off this lad and a couple of his mates. So I'd give this one a good hiding one night when I'd tried chucking him out, and they got me back. Then when I went in on the first sentence, I'm going to the gym. Now, Lancaster Farms, the wings are like this. So when you come out, the gym's here. The wings, 2 wings here, they run down this link path, you down there. So as I'm walking, I see the lad who I'd give a good hiding, who then jumped me. Like I said, the family, a well-known family, he's no longer with us, but I see him and I think, fucking hell. So I go to the gym, I give my name to the PT instructor.
You can use screw.
Yeah. Well, he was a gym I hate the word. So I give my name to the gym instructor. I go in the shower and he's there. So there's change room and shower. So I said, right, come on. And he's like, what? I said, let's get round there before the screws come in. I said, let's just get it out of the way. Whatever fucking animosity there is, let's go. You thought I'd done something wrong, which maybe I went over the top with you. But look at it, you were off your head. And you're an handy lad. And then you jump me, you got your own bike. To me, that's it, but let's go get it dealt with. And he said, no, listen. It's gone. We're in jail, we need to stick together, we're from the same town, blah, blah, blah. But he said, I need to talk to you. So we're talking. Now, on the first time, obviously, when I come in, my picture was there. It was in the paper, who the victim was. This lad's dad, who's very, very well known, turned around to his son and said, I know why he's gone after him. Because the same thing happened to me.
Really?
And when he told me that, I was like, wow. Just to hear that this guy who's got something about him said, I know, do you know what I mean? And then there's other
talk about it.
No, I've never even spoke to him about it. So yeah, there were other people, and I was determined. Then while I'm on that sentence, I go to the adult jail.
What was your first adult jail?
Wymot.
Was that different?
So I go to Wymot because my uncle was in there. So I thought, adults, I'll get with adults, get away from these, you know, it's immature. I'm starting to come, I've just turned 21. I thought, I want to get with grown men, it'll be a lot better, it won't be as childish. And so the PO came to me and he said, Shaun, listen, you don't need to go, your sentence finishes 21 and 11 months. Now, I don't know what it is now, I think is it 24 now or something?
I don't know, mate. I thought you just finished
adults
at 20.
Like, if you're in young offenders, I don't know what the thing is now, but then it was, if you was 21 when you got nicked, you go adults. But if you was in a young offender, you could stay in young offenders till you're 21 and 10 months.
Right.
So he said, your sentence finishes 21 and 11 months. But you're a red band, you're on the survey.
Model prisoner.
Yeah, he said, you're all right here. Stay here. And I said, I can't do it with a childish nurse and I can't blah, blah, blah. And he went, don't. The grass is not always greener, Shaun. No, I know what I'm doing. So he said, all right, as long as you know what you're doing, you send me. I go on the induction wing. And the induction wings were mixed. VPs and normal, and I didn't know. So I've never been to an adults. Yeah, in Wymot. I don't know what it is now. And then they'd send them then over to the VP wings. It's a CCAT jail. So I don't know what it is now, but then it was. And then they get sent to the VP wings and you go on to the mains. So this guy next door says, oh, have you got a spare roll-up? Now, when I come in, they give me, like, your induction pipe.
Yeah.
I had tobacco from Lancaster Farms.
Yeah.
Give me an induction pipe with this fucking pipe tobacco. Red, do you know what I mean? Not,
yeah, I do, yeah.
The stringy shit, the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Not Red Bull. It was some
I know
nasty stuff. So he said, have you got a roll-up? I've not had a fag for a few days.
I forgot about that shit.
I said, here, you can have that. And he went, what do you want back? Nothing. What, you just want that? No interest? I said, I don't want that back. Have it.
Double bubble on that.
No, it was shitty. I said, you can have it. He was like, all right, nice one. I soon learned that I had to change that nature. So anyway, over a couple of days, I'm stood on the landing. He's next door to me, we're talking. Then this one particular day, Screw coming to do the LBBs or whatever. The LBB, innit?
Yeah, LBBs.
I'm trying to think it
lots, bolts and bars.
Yeah. So you're coming to do LBB, so you're saying everything all right, yeah. Come from young offenders, how are you finding it? I said, not bad. I see you've made friends, he said. And I went, I don't have friends. I've only just got here. He went, no, but I see you've made friends with you next door. Lovely fella. And I went, all right, is he? I said, oh, that's good to know. And he went, he's not in for nicking cars, and shut the door. And as soon as he said that, I knew, because it used to get saying young offenders. Like the SO would walk past or an officer when new people come in and they go, he's not, to cleaners, he's not in for nicking cars, lads, and carry on walking and telling us that he's a bacon, he's a nonce. So we'd go and get showers then.
You know what, I've seen a couple of lads who weren't nonces, who weren't VPs, put in hospital at Forest Bank because officers have said to you, that lad next door, because they've had a bit of beef with him and they've ended up in comas and they were in for fucking robbery and shit like that. It's a dangerous game.
It is. So, and I'll go on to that later on as well because I did it again, but he was. So anyway, I thought, shit. So I got back on the bell, come to the door, said, right, you need to move me off here. Your induction's not finished, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't the same screw. Right, listen. I said, just found something out. I said, been associating myself with next door, and they went, all right. So they knew. I said, and I've just fucking found out that, you know, he's not going on normal location. You need to move me off here now. I said, because that door opens, I'm going to attack him. No, it is. They go down, ring round the wings, and what's mad is while they're ringing round the wings, someone else from another wing rung up, another officer, screwed and said, can you send Shaun blah blah over here? His uncle's on this wing, he's going to keep his eye out. So I got moved then onto my uncle's wing, straight away on the servery. And we had to give these shortbread biscuits out, and these were very rare. So I said to the lad, the number one at server, how many of these do I give out? One. Nobody. So as people come in, can have another, you can't. So people are pissed off anyway. When you say no, they get pissed off, don't they?
I've told people before, savoury.
Yeah, it's fucking
savoury is
but especially when it's something like, something you don't get. Something that's a treat, ice creams, gateau.
Yeah.
Nice stuff that people like. So I'm getting a few, but it's not too bad. So the number one says, if I look at you and nod, then give this person extra. I didn't know the ropes then of the adults, so obviously his mates or whatever, so you know how it is. Your pals you sort out, people take extra to sell and trade, it's all that. That's perks of being on that job. So this biggest guy comes and he went, 2. And I said, what? He went, 2. I said, no. So he went to put his hand, so I dragged the box by. I said, move your fucking hand. I said,
how long have you been at wing?
Days, a couple of days. I said, move your fucking hand. And he went, what? I said, you heard me. Move, don't put your fucking hand in here and mug me off. I said, I might have just come from young offenders. I said, but I'm not a mug. I said, no, fuck off. I'm going to see you after the surgery. I said, don't worry, I'll come to you. I said, no, keep it down. Because this time he's starting to, his voice is going, and you know yourself,
of course.
Lads who don't want battle, they raise it right as far high as they can. So everyone says, officers saying, it stops. The ones who say, let's just, you know. And I'd been, when I came on the wing, I had some guys come in and they just told me how adults work. And they said, anyone tries it, you fucking put it straight on them. If you're going to get a good hiding, put it straight on them. Do not be intimidated because you've just come from young offenders. So now I'm trying to get things out and I'm like this.
Adrenaline's kicked in.
I'm shitting myself because I'm going up against a grown man now. And I'm like, so I'm giving fucking biscuits. So number one says to me, come in the end. He went, right, calm down. Take your fucking paper hat off. Take your white coat off. Go give it him. And I said, what? Just, he went, run straight in the cell and go as hard as you can.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, go as hard as you can. Now, this is the number one on there. Now, I'd learnt a bit from the second time I came in. At first, I got sent to Forest Bank. Lancaster forms were full. So they sent me to the bank. So I'll come back onto that, and it was lessons there. So he said, go and give it as hard as you can. So I run in the cell. He goes to stand up, and I was surprised how big he was and how quick he just went, you know. And then he starts making these stupid screaming noises. So it means people come to the door, the officers come, take me out. So by the time they come, I've coming out the door. So they haven't nicked me. We got banged up. The next day I come out, nothing gets said in the morning. Dinner time, I go down to the servery, get my white coat on, put my hat on. The PO come and she was a Geordie woman and I can't think of her name. So she come in and she said, can you come with me? And she had some screws with her.
Yeah.
I thought, fuck, this is because of your man. So she takes me, we go up these stairs, we're going to an office. I'm thinking, what the fuck? So I said, sit down. She sits at the desk. So another 2 gym screws come over then. So I'm looking, I'm thinking, this is serious, these are all big guys, what? So she says, right, I've had a phone call, she said, have you had any contact with any family today? And I said, no. Right, she said, sorry to tell you, she said, but your brother's passed away.
Oh.
So he was 19, so she said, your brother's passed away. And obviously you fucking break down or what have you. She said, you can ring the hospital, we'll let you speak to your dad. We will then... Oh, so this is a Saturday. So as you know, so everything locks down at 5.
Yeah.
We're going to let your dad come in. We're going to take him up to the chapel.
Really?
And we're going to let you sit with your dad. So this was like 7, 8 o'clock at night when my dad come in, and just let she said, I'm staying on, so I'll oversee it. And she just sat in a corner.
I'm glad you brought that up. You know what?
She...
Yeah. He does that.
People wouldn't have done that.
No, fucking hell, no.
Not many, but with her status, if it had been a landing officer, an SO, maybe they wouldn't have been able to pull them strings. But being a PO, they're higher, aren't they? They're only just under a governor grade. So I ring the hospital and a copper comes on. Now, I'd had trouble with this guy a few times. He'd nicked me and I'd got a good hiding off him and what have you. So he says, oh, hey, yeah, Shaun. I said, don't fucking show me. Every time he sees me, it's my surname. Don't show me. Put my dad on. I've no reason to speak to you. But then I should have known, like, fucking honestly, bad, he was a copper. My dad comes on the phone and he says, he's been murdered. I'm like, what? Yeah, I've had to turn his machine off. Oh, fuck me. So, fucking hell, I didn't think that'd...
Listen, mate.
I've told this story so many fucking times as well. Just like a big part of me just died.
The worst place anyone to be losing a close relative is in prison, mate.
So
don't get any worse.
I go back to the wing. Now, my uncle was a couple of doors down. Now, I don't want to speak too much about him. He's passed away a couple of weeks ago. So I don't want to say too much that might... But anyway, he had some addiction problems. So my dad used to send me money every month. And he'd send an extra 20 quid. And he'd say, right, 20 quid's for so-and-so. That's
his brother.
He was the oldest, my dad's the youngest. So he said, look, that 20 quid's for your uncle. Don't tell him I'm sending that extra because then he expects it off you. So when he asks for a bit of baccy, just give him a pouch of baccy. So I've sent you that extra 20 for him. So that morning, he'd come to me and he went, oh, have you got 4 items? Now, if people who don't know, 4 items are in jail. Then was a pouch of tobacco was an item. So if you wanted to buy some off someone, say a bit of weed or a bit of gear, how much is it? 2 items. It's better than saying like an ounce of burr.
Yeah.
So again, it's trying to be undercover. So he comes and he says, I need 4 items. Can you do it? I said, yeah, you'll have to give me a couple of hours. I haven't got it, but I'll go get it. So that was going to be, the money he gets sent in, that was going to pay for that. So he said, give me a couple of hours, I'll sort it out. But then obviously, this has all happened. So I've come back on the wing and I'm walking up to my cell. And even though everyone was out on induction, out on association, I couldn't hear a thing. I couldn't hear nothing. It was like, I go to my cell, I shut my door, I cover my flap. Obviously, I'd just sit and have a good cry. But then, so I ignore it, and knock again, so I start drying my tears and try and make myself look. So it really all going to open door and say, right, you can just leave me alone, you know. But when I open the flap, see who it was, it's my uncle. So I open the door, he comes in, and he said, what's up, kid? And I said, Danny's died. And he went, what? I said, so-and-so's murdered him. And he went, fucking hell, that's mad, that. Can you still get me them 4 items? So I said, are you joking? He went, no, I asked you this morning, you know. I know, like, things have happened, but, you know, I did ask you this morning. Your nephew's just been murdered. Your nephew's just been murdered. My fucking brother's just been murdered. And you're all interested in these 2 ounces of tobacco. I know, you know how it is, you know. I didn't mean to come out like that, but we need to go get the stuff. A couple of his pals who he does dodgy shit with outside were on the wing, so they were in the things together. So I said, right, this is how it's going to go. Now, bear in mind, I'd never touched anything odd. I had addiction to painkillers, which I'd kicked by then.
Yeah.
Smoke a bit of weed, and that was it. I said, how much is the stuff? And he said, oh, there's 3 of us, and we've all got to put 4 items in for a knot. Now, a knot is basically a little lump of brown in a bag,
Yeah.
and it's tied into a knot, so you call it a knot.
Yeah.
So he says, it's a knot. So I'd only be around about 50 quid. So I said, right, I'm going to pay for it, but I'm smoking it with you. Oh, no. Now, it should have been, you ain't touching that fucking shit. Now, he'd been on it for 27, 28 years, maybe longer. His first thing should have been, you ain't touching that shit. I can't do that. He says, I'm in it with somebody else. What? Well, I'm doing it with them. No, let me tell you again. I'm going to pay for the stuff, and me and you are smoking it. Otherwise, you fuck off, and I'll do it myself. Do you know? And he's seen then that I was serious. I needed something to
Numb it.
to wipe the way I was feeling. Because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't function, mate. Everything, I don't know. So anyway, he goes, gets the stuff. Splits it. He goes. I then go see my dad. To see a big, strong, alpha male man sat there crying like a, how he was. The vulnerability that just tore me inside, So that was a very emotional. I come back to the wing. I'd smoked this heroin, never touched it.
How did that go?
Do you know what?
Or were you just...
I slept like a fucking baby.
Did you know how much you were taking, or did you just...
I just fucking smoked it till it went. Just smoked it. I asked him what you do. He told me how to do it. And what he'd done is he got it going from the powder into, like, it was like a little... people who don't understand, it's like a little bit of tar, melted tar. So when you burn it, it runs, and then...
Yeah.
That's what they said, chasing the dragon, because as you're burning it, it's rolling, you're chasing the smoke down. So he got it going from the powder and said, right, this is what you're doing, showed me. So I smoked it, and I slept. Because that's what it does, it just wiped me out, took me out. As soon as I woke up, bang, everything's there again, reality's back in it. So I go straight back out on the wing, buy some more. And...
Is this the next day?
Yeah.
How did you feel? Because I've told people have described it to me before. One mate said he tried it in America in the 70s. He said, if I ever took it again, that was it. I was fucked. I was on it for life.
So I went out the next day. I woke up and that bang, hit of reality again. It was like I'd just been told again. Do you know what I mean?
How were the staff with you? Or
the wing staff there was one. None of them had come near me. None of them come near me all the time I was there. I had a bit of trouble with one youngster, and he kept doing shitty stuff like spinning my cell and taking things and saying you're not allowed that, or just petty stuff. Like, then you only had green fucking blankets.
Yeah.
Green blanket and a yellow one, and then you get a sheet, like a normal bed sheet, but you get a sheet as well, and you 2 blankets. Well, then I'd have 3 and he'd take one, and it just petty stuff. And like, he'd come out with snidey comments and, and then one day I just said, oh look, I know you got drinking around this area. And he fucking left me alone then.
Did he?
Yeah, he left me, and it was basically right near where I live. So I said, I know you go drinking around these pubs. Told him where, and he backed right off. But there was one old guy, he was Scottish, Mr. McGregor. And he would, do you know what? If it wasn't for him and a PO, Phil Barton, he was called. It was mad to the point my family said, oh, have you spoke to Uncle Phil? Because he was that involved. He'd take me out when everyone got banged up. He'd take me outside. He'd give me a fag. We'd sit and talk. He really fucking helped me, him and Mr. McGregor. So he said to me, look, I want to come to the funeral, but you'll have to put it into the governor, because otherwise it'll just be whoever's on shift. So I spoke to Mr. McGregor. He'll have been retired not long after. He was quite an old boy, but he was still game. And I said, Mr. McGregor, would, you know, I want to ask you if you can take, are you all right taking me? They got to know me. It's just better that way, innit? It's a bit easier.
Do you see what I posted yesterday about that funeral escort? No. It's amazing. 20 lad.
Wow.
And his family asked whether someone could take him, so we ended up taking him out.
Wow.
It's just a bit of...
Yeah, it's just that familiarity, knowing that you've got someone who has a bit of compassion for you, that's being kind.
While he's saying that, I think we just touched on this, didn't we, when we were chatting? A dozen people the last 2 weeks who said, one were at Strangeways, that block, Friday ED, evening duty. He said, I planned it, Mr. S. I know him. Planned it, Mr. S. Saturday when they're doing adjudications and they're busy.
That's when you do it then?
Yeah, well, that's when we're going to do it. He says, you're an officer, don't know who he is, never seen him before. Come on, you weren't regular E-Wing staff. Come round, you're 8 kid. Just looked at him. Come back about 10 minutes later, what's up, kid? Nothing. Come back again, what's up, kid? Come and talk to me. Half an hour. That's it. Thought's gone out of my head. If it weren't for him, I'd been dead.
Yeah.
That's all it takes, innit?
Yeah. And you know, you saying that, Sam, when I go on the story, you'll see that it's kind of, it's weird how things play out, because it's always been at times I've needed someone where someone pops up. And I'm going to go into that, especially the last sentence I did, because something that really affected me, and it's even to like today, it's like I still find myself thinking about it and having a good cry. So anyway, I said, and he's like, you know what, of course, he'd looked in his book, he said, I'm off that day, but I'm coming in. I'm coming in.
I'm getting emotional, man.
He says, I'm coming in. And I was like, so they took me out. Miss Phil sat at the back. Do you need a minute? Do you need a minute? Are you alright?
No, I'm alright, kid. I'm feeling it for you.
So I'm cuffed up to Mr. McGregor. It was a funeral, so obviously it wasn't good. Luckily I got to stand next to my dad, you know, I got to keep hold of my dad, have my arm around him, and because he needed it. You know, I had to be the strong one. If that's the right word, I don't know. And then after that finished, they let me stay for like 40 minutes talking to people and letting people come up, hugging me, and what was funny is my nan walked over and I bent down, I give her a hug. Now, she was a Scouser.
Were you double cuffed?
No, I was just one cuff to him. So I bent down, I give her a hug, and I come back up. She looked up at Mr. McGregor, she was only tiny, and she went, well? And he went, sorry. And she went, well, come on. And he's like,
really?
what? Yeah, and she said, bend fucking down. She said, I'm going to slap you. And he went, all right then. And she gave him a hug, and that, like, he got emotional. He got emotional.
Why
like,
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you've got any humanity, why wouldn't you? Fucking hell.
So they were great with me. They took me back, let me get changed, didn't strip search me. Just let me get dressed. Said, do you want to stay down here for a bit? Or do you want to, because obviously wing being hectic, or do you want to go sit off in the chapel for a couple of hours? What? And I said, no, I'll go back to wing, you know. I wanted to go take some drugs. And that's what I wanted to do.
Got tears running down my cheek now. Go on.
Sorry, so...
No.
And I needed to get rid of that feeling. I needed to suppress it fast.
Did they know that you were using?
Who?
The big lad that... No.
No one knew nothing. I kept it. Even to the point I'd cut my uncle off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing all this, I'm doing it myself. So, a couple of weeks before I'm due to be released, this was one of the first things I realised, that people pleasing, getting involved with other people can go down wrong. There was a traveller lad on the wing, and he said, "Do you want to two up with me?" I said, "Yeah, all right." I'd never been in a double cell. I was Irish then.
Why did the Irish get? Because it kidnapped? Or don't
Because
you
of my
know?
violence, yeah.
Yeah.
And because of fights I'd had in custody, it was like, and then obviously I'd give that guy a good hiding, so it was like, you don't go in the cell. So he said, "Do you want to come in with me, blah, blah. I don't want to get some like little, you know, some little scruff bagging or..." So I'm like, yeah. So we're going in, it was good. He had a phone, was smoking weed. And I stopped taking gear then because I was smoking weed with him. And then he'd give someone a slap, they come to move him, he said, and it was the young one who come, the young officer.
The dickhead.
Yeah, "Pack your kit, you're off." And he went, "The fuck are you talking to?" "You know who I'm talking to, I'm looking at you. Pack your kit, you're going." So he looked at me, he went, "Are you going to stand with me?" I said, "Fucking damn right." So he turned around to me, he said, "Fuck off, go bring the muftis." Which, for people who don't know, is like you explained with Danny.
Yeah.
You get kitted up
and
you go and you're getting your warnings. Are you going to leave the cell? You get enough warnings. What we've done is we put...
Your barricade?
Yeah. We had a cabinet, so we put that in double bed with door, put that down on its side so the door would only open that much.
Yeah.
We had a wooden table, snapped the legs off. I said, if you're standing, and there's this thing, you back your cellmate. If your cellmate's going to fight someone, you back him, you watch his back. I was young, was easily impressed. I thought I was doing the right thing. I was people pleasing. I didn't want to look weak. It was all about my vulnerability, this. Of people not seeing my vulnerability. Wanting people to think he's staunch.
Can I just say, you know what you're saying there? It happens with staff.
Yeah.
Staff will back people when they're doing wrong.
Because you don't want to be ostracised.
They look, yeah? Look at me, yeah, we're not going to fucking do it when he's there.
No.
And I'm not bullshitting nobody now. I know that.
Yeah.
You know, but they'll look at somebody else and they'll get on with what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Which is wrong.
Of course it is. So, and what's mad, so they all come, you get boots. That sound is like, oh.
Shield at door, bam.
That sound is like the effect of, you know, I don't, obviously your boots that you're wearing, I don't know if that's what one of your training is. You stamp a bit hard and let people know we're marching, we're coming. Anyway, but this time he opens the flap again. As a looks, as we stood at the back of the cell, opens it because it only opens that much.
They warn you?
Yep, so he stood there, behind him someone with a camera. Now it was a PO. And we couldn't see, I couldn't see them off this. So he said, "Right boys, this can be dealt with quite easily, we can resolve it, you come out nice and quietly. Or we're going to come in strong and it's going to go very wrong. It's going to go bad for you. But either way, you're coming out of the cell." Said to him, and I'm not even going to say his name, but anyway, said to him, "Are you coming out of the cell?" And he had the table leg and he went, "Yeah." Chucked it on the bed and walked out. And I'm fucking stood there now with a table leg. So he looked at me and he went, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I said, I'm coming. He went, No, I don't mean what's your decision. He said, "Because I know what's happening."
With him?
He went, "What are you playing at?" He said, have you just seen what's happened?" And I said, "What do you mean, Gov?" And he went, "You're stood with him. You're backing him up. He's obviously said to you, have you got my back? Are we taking him on? Are we going to have a battle? You, being a criminal, being a prisoner, doing the unwritten rule," because there's unwritten rules. As you know, there's rules on the wing, there's hierarchies, and there's rules that you're supposed to abide by. He said, "You've done that, and now he's left you." He said, "Come on." So I walked out. He took me down the block. A couple of hours later, come to the cell, open the door and said, "Right, come on," and put me back on the induction wing.
Put it back on wing.
I only had like 2 weeks to go and put me back on the induction wing then. Didn't nick me.
Did he put you back single cell?
Yeah. I'm walking back to wing and he just spoke to me and just said, "Come on, you need to sort yourself out. It's all fake. Everything in jail's fake. Relationships with cons, I've not spoke to any cons really since I've been out that I were mates with. Different life, innit?
I've spoke to a lot.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
Paul,
I
who's
know what
like
you
my
mean.
friend, who's the ex-prison officer, and he
Yeah,
knows.
yeah.
He's told me I can mention his name, but I've cut away from that side because I can see that it's wrong. It's wrong. People and prisoners manipulate each other. They're your friends if you're the one who gets the drugs in. They're your friends if you're the one who has the pull on the wing. They're your friends if you're whatever. Do you know what I mean? If it's something that benefits them or that can make their jail easier, you've got loads of friends. But if you've got none of that, no one's interested. Is what I found the majority.
And you're vulnerable as well.
Yeah. So I learned that lesson there. So I got out. I wasn't using. I then got into a relationship.
How old are you now, mate?
So 21.
Just so I can get an idea.
But 22.
You just started young offenders now then?
No, it's when I come out of Weimar.
Right.
So maybe 21 and a half, maybe 22. Yeah, because I was 21, so I had 11 months. So it was just before my 22nd birthday. So I get out, and I get into a relationship, and I couldn't believe how I could get this person, you know. It's way above my league.
Shaun, mate.
But it was the stuff that come with that. There was a lot of... I understand now why she got with me. But anyway, she ended up getting pregnant, and I thought, you know what, finally in my life, I've come out, I've got a job. I was only out a week, I got a job. I'm in a relationship.
How did you get a job?
I just walked in and asked for a job.
Really?
Yeah. This week alone, I've just started a new job Monday.
Yeah.
And this week alone, I've already had... Thanks. I've already had 3 other places ring me up offering me a job.
Really?
Yeah. People who say they can't work.
Is it people you know?
No.
Or just...
People that don't even know me. My CV's online.
Yeah.
And these agencies are ringing me saying, can you start work?
Really?
Yeah.
Have you got a skill then?
Not really. It's only stuff I did inside, like did MVQ in warehousing and manufacturing.
Yeah.
So I did MVQ level 1 and 2. Basically, it's just writing down the skills and what I can do, and going and people ringing like this one. It's same to the job I've just left last week, but bigger scale. So I'm learning a lot more. So I get out, I get a job, and basically what I'm doing is I'm going around places. You got any jobs? No. Okay. The week after I go back the same route. You got any jobs? No. And then on this one day, we're driving past this Sporth Manor Hotel, it's called, and pulled in, walked to reception. I said, I'm just wondering if you've got any vacancies, like, what, for rooms? Or I said, no, jobs. Not that I know, but what, for a room, like? She must have thought. So I said, no, a job, or not. But I think she said, the kitchen porter, you know, it was coming up near Christmas, it was icy, whatever, he'd hurt himself. I can have a word with the head chef, get him to come and speak to you, would you do it? I said, yeah, anything. He come out, Andy was called, he sat down, he said, how come you've come in? So I told him, I said, I'm going round places, just walking in asking for a job. And he went, really? And I said, well, I'm here. No jobs advertised, I've walked in. So he's like, when can you start? It's obviously he knew straight away, this guy's keen.
Yeah,
he keeps walking, he's walking into places.
Of course.
So I start and I'm thinking, wow, my life is rosy. The job ends up finishing, they had to let me go. Not through fault of my own, it was just business was slowing down. So what do I do now? So I start selling drugs. I go working with my cousin, for my cousin, and my job was to deliver to other dealers. So we'd go to Burnley or Blackburn, pick up a weight, go back to an house we had, cut it all up, you know, into like into different weights, and then drop them off to dealers and then go collect money after. But each day I'd have to go to my uncle's, because he was out by this, and give him his daily breakfast, he'd call it, which stopped him going out committing crime. So that's what we did. We'd go give him his £20 thing, stopped him going out. We'd had an argument, me and the missus. I've gone out, I've ended up in a party, I woke up the next day, loads of missed calls. I ring her up, I said, what's up? She said, you need to come home. So I go home, and she says, I've been in hospital overnight. I've miscarried.
No.
And it was just like that same feeling again. You know? Like,
I felt your brother.
yeah, worse. It was like, I'm just a fucking failure here. What am I supposed to do? So, quite ironic. Worse that, I hadn't been round to my uncle's for the time I were meant to. It'd been an hour, 2 hours after I usually go around. He rings me up. Have you got my breakfast? Yeah, I'm just sat with, I'm not going to say a name on here. We miscarried.
People don't understand, mate, do they?
And I said, she's miscarried. I said, what do I do? You'll be alright, he said, you can try again. How long are you going to be? You know, it's what happens when people are...
Do you know what? A lot of people, I
drugs.
think it affects people, and people don't understand even, do they?
But also when people are got an habit, drug habit, they're not interested in what's going to do. What they're interested in is feeling better again. So I walk round, go around to his house. I walk round to his house. I go in. Didn't want to drive. My emotions were just, you know, my eyes were just continuously running. So I go in. I give him his thing. I go up to the toilet. I come back down. I open the living room door. As soon as I open the living room door, Sam, bang! The smell of the drugs that he was burning.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa! I remember what this did to me in Weimar. I said, give it here, the foil, and he went, no. Yeah, the smell, and straight away, it took me back to the comfort of what happened to my brother. Takes it all away, you know. And people are going to wonder, like, why is he wearing a scruffy top? I'm going to work straight after this, so I don't usually dress like a
Might
tramp.
wonder why I'm wearing a scruffy top.
You know, so that's nice. I like them actually.
Yeah, we'll get kitted out.
So anyway, as soon as the smell, I said, give it that, and he went, no. I said, you're giving it, or I'll just stop coming around every morning. You know, I'll just blackmail him. So he gave it me, and that was it then. I went from, we used to eat takeaways most nights. You know, it'd be something different every night. I'd scran mine, being a big lad, I'd scran mine. And then as soon as she starts struggling, and I can see she's starting to struggle, are you finished with that? Have you had enough? You know how it is, don't you?
I know exactly how it is, mate. Have you ever had fork it back at hand?
No, I've not been brave enough to go like that. But I'd be like, are you struggling? No. You look like you're struggling there. No. Are you sure? Here. All right. Are you sure? And I'd scran that as well. But then as soon as I started smoking them drugs again, the heroin, I couldn't even finish my own food. So we split up. I got a flat, and I was just ending my tether. So
You still doing your running about, and
yeah, and it was all getting too much for me. The pressure of watching my back all the time, watching every car, looking out, going up to the bedroom, having a little look on the street, see if I can spot a car, looking in other windows, see if I can see any surveillance. When I'm walking, I'm backtracking, I'm going down different routes. Everything takes me a lot longer because
was it?
Because of police surveillance. Was it shit? But I didn't know, I didn't have anything else to do. And also, again, it justified me using violence on people. People didn't pay, people tried to take the piss. I got to let that side out. Till one night, I just fucking broke down. I thought, I've had enough. It was like there were noise in my head all the fucking time. It was just noisy. So I put 100 cocoa them all in a pint glass, let them dissolve, downed them all. And the mad thing is, Sam, when I drunk it all, the peace that came, it was like everything in my head just went quiet. Like, that's it.
How quick?
Instant.
Really?
As soon as I drunk it, it was like, that's it now. It's going to be over.
Or it weren't the effect of them, it's you thinking, I've done.
That's it. It's all going to be over now. Thankful for that. That's what I thought. It's finished. So I get undressed, go in the bedroom, fold all my clothes up and that. Well, I don't know why I say that when I talk to people. When I'm doing talks at schools, I make the point of, I fold my clothes up, put them on my cabinet. I never used to do that. I'd take my clothes off, put it from, like wash basket, or throw them in the bedroom door, ready for when I go out bedroom and put them in wash. But I folded everything and I got in bed. And I hadn't turned into my uncle's. I hadn't turned up, so he'd rung my ex. Where is he? Don't know. No, we're still speaking then, but I had my own flat.
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems to like be going off the rails a bit. My uncle's like, yeah, I've noticed that. He's trying. He said, I think he's trying to get himself killed. Because I was just doing stupid stuff and not worried. So he was trying to ring. Come round to the flat. Kick the front door open. As you come in front door, there was a door on the left, door on the right. They were separate flats. Mine was in front with another door, and you go up the stairs into my flat. So broke through that door, run up, found me in bed, rung the ambulance, and then I came round like 3 or 4 days later in hospital. So we're nearly dead. And as soon as I woke up, I was like, fucking useless bastard. I can't get this guy. I can't finish him. I can't do what I want to do to him. I can't keep a job. I can't keep a relationship. And people may think, oh, it's sympathy. It's not. I'm trying to explain mental health. What the feeling is. People with mental health will understand what I'm talking about.
Of course they will.
But some people are, oh, trying to sympathy, or people feel sorry. It's not that. Just explain what was going on at the time.
Was there any relief that you were still alive?
No.
Not at all?
No, I thought, fucking hell. So, an incident happened and someone from another town, Rochdale, were coming into our town, round our areas, and selling drugs. But they were selling like bigger bits for the same price. So like, why dealers not getting rid of the stuff? So we found out who they were, did a setup, and I was the first one to go in and ambush them. And then there were 2 vans waiting full of lads, and they were going to jump out. So they pulled up in a 4x4. I jumped in the back with CS gas, sprayed them. They jumped out, and then loads of stuff's happened. And then it was like 30 seconds from the police station this happened. So when they've jumped out, you haven't had handbrake on, it's rolled into a car at the car. So people coming out, it was on a main road, so I run off. Go home, get changed. I'd already caught some of the CS gas, so my eyes are stinging, I'm coughing. Get to my uncle's, I ring them and I say, right, this is the address. I know this is where you're working out of. In Rochdale, this is your address, give them the address. I'm going to be around tonight. We're not fucking about.
Were people using you as muscle?
Yeah. So, but I'd gone over the top. These were expecting me to do. I'm like, you know, this ain't going to end. But as soon as I give the address, they knew then. They've done fucking research to come in. They've already tried to ambush me on my own. Obviously the van's there, but they just see me at first. They're like, we need to talk, let's talk, we can work together, I'm like, fuck off, put the phone down. Now everyone who was there, a lot of them had got off, but the main ones, my cousins, our friends, were at my uncle's. And they're all just sat there quiet. So my uncle said, I need to have a word with you. So we go in the kitchen, he said, you need to go away. And I said, on about, he said, you need to just go away for a bit. He said, you're putting yourself in danger, you're putting other people in danger. It's not going to go well. I think you need psychological help. He said, because you can see there's something very, very wrong with you. So I then go and stay with an auntie in Blackpool. She's gone away, and I was still the same. I just didn't want to live. I had a breakdown. Sorry.
It's alright, mate.
So, okay.
It's nearly 1:45, you know.
1:45?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Right, so we've got 10-15 minutes. So, so I ended up having a breakdown. So I go to Blackpool, things aren't going good.
Did you know well?
I come back.
Is it like, you know, like a close relative or whatever? Is it somewhere you feel comfortable?
Yeah, but I end up moving back because I couldn't. I'm in a place where I've got a lot of time with my thoughts. You know, all I can think about is this other guy, but I can't find the fucker. I go back to my town, end up having a breakdown, and no one can find me. To the point where I walk past someone who grew up, she was like my sister, grew up since we were small. I walked past her, and it was like I'd walked past a stranger. I totally didn't know where I was, what was happening during the day. It was weird.
Are you using drugs? No.
Not really, I'm drinking. But I haven't got my normal thought process like we have now. So I don't even know how I've crossed main roads. I don't even know. It's weird. So then she rung my mum, and then police got told, please come and get me, take me into hospital then.
Really?
Yeah.
So you get sectioned?
No.
Did
No. But what they did
they take you to a mental hospital?
Yeah.
Because
So they took me to Blackpool. Like I say, I used to do security on Calderstone's hospital.
Yeah.
I've got another relative who's in there now. He's totally gone off his rocker. So they take me back to Blackpool and put me in this mental hospital. So they said to me, you're either going to do a 3-month standard lie down, or we're going to give you under the Mental Health Act, we're going to section you, which is going to be a minimum of 6 months. But it's going to be longer because the doctor's got to justify to the judge, blah, blah, blah. So they don't let you out easy. I said, I'll do the 3 month. But I'm looking around people and I'm like, everyone's well. Everyone seems unwell. There's nothing wrong with me. You know, there's someone banging his head off a door. There's all this mad stuff. And I'm like, I'm fine. So as the 3 months come up, we have a review. There's a room full of doctors, psychologists, whatever. And I just totally fucking manipulated a lot of them. You know, I'm all right. I just had a bit of a thing, you know. My head went. I needed some time to get things back together. Do you know what I mean? I just totally made it like I needed a break. But I'm fine. So they let me go. And that's where a couple of weeks later I ended up getting the I.P.P sentence. So I wasn't well. I knew I wasn't well, but I couldn't stay in the hospital. I needed to go.
You see, for me, you hit a nail on the head there with mental health and that. I don't think sometimes I know whether people are well or not. I honestly don't. I've spoke with a lad who I'm hoping, you know, will come and speak and help people, and he says exactly the same. You know, he said to you, at times, Sam, you can say the right things and people, but he says on the other side, you can also play it the other way. He says, I've done that before when it suits me.
Yeah, but I knew I wasn't well, and I should not have done that because I may not have got the I.P.P, or maybe I would have got life eventually because I would have called that other person, but somebody copped for it and what I did to him, and I'm going to go into that in the next video because there's a lot in that about my mental health, and it's very, very dark and deep. So
did they, you know, these psychiatrists you've got out, did they know your background? Did they talk about
to
it?
him.
You see, this is the whole thing.
I didn't tell him nothing.
Life situations, affect your mental health badly. Your history up to now is affected by one incident, and then obviously your brother inside.
Yeah, it's the knock on. It's the knock on, and you know, there were people when my brother died, you know, an ex-brother-in-law went to another family member and said, I need help getting a certain weapon, I'm gonna go sort this person out, and this family member went, no, I'm not getting involved. It was like, it's your fucking nephew. So I had a lot of bitter and hatred for a lot of family because it was like everyone had forgot about him. But we're going to go into that because the next bit is dark. It's very, very dark. So I think it's how I got my I.P.P. And it'd be a good place, I think, to stop the story there and carry on that story the next time. And now just have a little 5 minutes if you want.
We'll we'll get rid of the audience and have a little chat, mate, eh?
Yeah.
I've got his number now. This ain't like telling his story and then we've done, I feel.
Yeah, no, we spoke a few times, haven't we? And
yeah, I'm stopping you now because I'm getting emotional again. All right, guys. Shaun, we will be back with you soon. Cheers.
yeah, thank you.